broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yeah, hey buzzers, welcome to an extra special episode of AFTERBUZZ TV's Arrow After Show. I am your host, Alikona Bradford, joined by some fantastic people. Of course, a very gorgeous, beautiful lady to the end. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Elysia Rotaru.
Go ahead, Katie.
I'm the new Tari. I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. We're also checking the live chat tonight and the hashtag, which is ABTV Arrow. So if you've got commentary, questions, any of that fun stuff, throw it in there and we will take a look at it.
Go for it. He's jamming over here.
I'm Lex Michael, and I may have just become a Sia fan.
Ooh, okay. Hey, well, I already said my name. I'm Alikona Bradford. You can find me at Boys and Beauty 01. And let's get into the show, shall we? So first things first, let's talk about this relationship between Felicity and Oliver, because that was the highlight for me this entire episode. But I was getting very frustrated with Felicity taking her anger out on Oliver.
See, this is actually the point where I want to take a step back and actually talk about Felicity a little bit.
Sure.
Because this is, again, we're looking at her not being trained for this sort of situation, and she has stayed up for way too long, and she hasn't gotten any sleep, and she hasn't looked away from the computer in God knows how long. Like, she doesn't even know what day it is anymore. And at that point, you are just gone. And it's with her not knowing how to handle the situation, and everyone around her who has more training with this saying, you need to take a break, you need to breathe, it's going to be okay, sleeping is not a sin. And so I can understand being that ridiculously high-strung, because I don't think she slept this entire episode at all.
Yeah, but you gotta understand too, though, she feels guilty. I mean, we did talk a little bit about, or we didn't talk about, the show talked about her daddy issues. We'll get into that later. But, she felt very guilty because of everything that happened with Ray and it being her fault. So I think that's part of what drives her crazy.
Yeah, and again, part of it is she hasn't had to handle this particular situation before. She doesn't have the training for it, and so it's driving her up the wall and back down again. So wow, I'm losing words tonight. It is late, you guys. It's like 11 o'clock. I am usually in my pajamas petting my cat at this point. Just like,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's not slang. I have a kitty. And that's
dear. This is what happens on the late night show, you guys.
AFTERBUZZ After Dark.
Oh, I can't with you right now.
That's so good.
So anyway.
The point where I get a sound effect is the point where I'm just like, good. It's good.
Right.
We're good.
So Elysia,
take it.
So if you find a man that looks as good as Oliver and he can cook, yeah.
I already have him and he's at home.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Dang.
He made bison last night. Can you believe that?
Bison's good.
That's so good.
Oh, man.
Can we come over and have bison with you?
Yeah.
You can, and he would also shuck you oysters.
What?
I know.
Dang.
All right, I might steal your
What was your
boyfriend.
question?
Okay.
I might do it.
Well, now
take
that
you up
Lex
on
is
that
converted,
invitation.
Anyways,
I might
So
do it.
if I had a man like him, what would I do?
yeah, I mean, okay, first of all,
Was that the question?
I mean, you know,
Eat?
Anyway. No, but you know what? I will say this about Oliver. He handled everything really well. Season 1 and 2 and 3, Oliver would have probably took the situation in a whole different level of dark. But now he's so lighthearted this season. It was really cool to see him just lay back and be like, oh, okay. Like, he took it with humor, even though on the inside it was not okay for him.
Smiling Oliver is my favorite Oliver.
He had a 6-month vacation. Dude's feeling pretty good. Or he was until he came back to the 7th circle of hell.
Yeah. I don't know, I just think that, okay, so at one point Felicity sits down with Oliver and she says that there's a problem between their relationship, and once Oliver realized that he's the problem, he's like, okay, I'm just gonna give you your space. And for me, I was like, oh, that's cool, because most people in that situation, just in life, the first thing you want to do is latch on to the person and make sure that they don't leave you. And for him to just get up and walk away, I was like, good move. Good move.
I think it's also partly Oliver going, I don't know what to do with this. I'm just gonna back away slowly. Dig, help, what do?
You know, the interesting thing is that Diggle actually had said, when you come across a woman like this, that, and 30, he had a long speech about having like a real kick-ass woman and that he'd married one twice. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. However, I feel like I've not seen that kind of chemistry between him and Lila. And I know we don't get to see their relationship a whole lot, but regardless, when we see them together, I'm like, okay, they're cute, they're happy, but I don't see any electricity. And I was like,
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see it. I see like old, I don't know. I just see a really boring, like, I love you, you love me, okay. But then when I see Oliver and Felicity, to me, I just see more of a genuine, real love.
Well, I also feel like you've felt that longer than I have. I always really liked what the two of them were doing individually, but I think maybe I've made comments, which is why I think in season 3, I thought Felicity and Ray's stuff together popped so much.
And I was like, wah, wah, wah.
But I didn't really feel it between the two of them. And now after this episode tonight, I get it. I'm like, all right, there is what all of these Felicity shippers have been trying to press on me
you came around.
for like 3 years.
He's
all
boarded
right.
the ship.
Yeah,
He's boarded the ship.
I ship nothing. I watched them from the shore.
Oh no, honey, you're on board.
Hooray.
The computer agrees.
Hooray feelings. No, but I also, one thing I really like, and we've talked a little bit about, I think, Katie, you've brought up that a lot of shows will throw in, once two characters are in a relationship, will throw in drama that feels very manufactured, and it will be excessively melodramatic and unnecessary, and it's drama for drama's sake. And I really appreciated, that this felt very honest to me, and it felt very true to where both of them were at this point.
Very organic.
In the story and in the relationship with each other, but also what made me even happier about it is that they resolved it by the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it almost felt like, to an extent, especially on this type of show, which does in a lot of ways get soapy from time to time, some of that relationship drama is expected. And this felt very much like, yes, it's expected, we're going to do it, we're going to do our version of it, and now we're not going to stretch it over half a season, we're going to deal with it, and they're going to move on stronger for it from this point.
Right.
And we've talked a little bit about relationships and how you don't need to have the on again, off again, will they, won't they, are they cheating, this and that and the other. You can have some drama within a stable relationship and still have that stable relationship. It doesn't have to be boring just because they're going steady or engaged or married or whatever. And that's the failure of understanding that gave us One More Day in the Spider-Man comics. It's not boring because they're together. And I like to see that Arrow understands that and is able to execute that in a, like you said, a very natural, very organic way. Yes, please, more of this. Thank you.
Yep.
Preach.
Yeah.
You know what, though? A lot of that realization and then her coming around, Felicity, was because of her mom, though. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Mama, none of that would have happened. But I really do like Donna Smoke a lot in this particular series. Even though she is that blonde, ditzy, bimbo-y, like, from afar, but when you actually get to know her, she's actually a really, really sweet lady.
I adore her. And the stinger for this episode was amazing.
Are you referring to the all too brief scene of Quentin Lance meeting Donna Smoke for the first time?
Yes. I ship it. I have another one for the Armada.
That was an incredible scene. It was the two
happy.
of them instantly. The connection and the chemistry between those two actors was absolutely wonderful to watch.
Well, yeah, it's my daughters are driving me crazy. Our collective children are having issues. Let's bond.
But it makes me nervous because we still don't know who's in the grave, and I feel like who is the most, I hesitate to use the word, but who is the character that we could lose and still continue this series as a series, and now who is more happy and feeling more secure and entering into something that seems positive in a way that they weren't before. Those are the people that I then become very, very afraid for.
Well, we know that Sarah's safe because...
Well, she's on a
spinoff, yeah.
A, she's on a spinoff,
We know
and
that
B, it
Ray's
would
safe.
be like, again?
Right.
Seriously?
She's gonna die for the third time. No big deal.
Just like, that's it, third time's the charm, we are done. The pits are gone, we're finished. I do love that she has the pit rage.
Yeah.
I actually like that they kept that, and that Constantine finding her soul wasn't just it's completely done and she's 100% fine now, goodbye. It's, no, she has to deal with this. This is not consequence free. And I love that they're doing that.
You know, I wonder is what they actually told her. They didn't show us a conversation of when she came back. Like, hey, by the way, just so you know, you were killed. We brought you back from the dead, if you're wondering where you've been. And it was Thea.
I don't know if they told her until... I don't know if they told her that Thea killed her, but I don't know if they told her about the rage until after she beat that Cord Industry guy half to death.
Oh, by the way, Cord
Industries!
Right? That was very exciting. Anybody in the audience that's as massive a nerd as we both are, apparently, also got really excited when you saw Cord Industries. Cord Industries is, of course, a reference to Ted Kord, the original Blue Beetle in the comics. And we've talked about this in the past. They originally wanted to use Blue Beetle, and I guess the movie arm of DC Warner Brothers was like, nope. And so that's why we have Ray Palmer.
And that's why Ray was a discount Iron Man for most of the season.
And now he's discount Ant-Man, too.
Oh, I was going to say paperweight, but okay.
Yeah,
Regardless.
no, so I'm going to sit here and hope for some Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. And I know it's not going to happen, but I don't care. That's my pie in the sky. I want it. Give it to me. Because they'd be more at home on The Flash. Those two are just a comedy act. Alexis is with me. Alexis is our engineer. Alexis is a lovely human being, and she's totally with me. We need those two. We need them as part of a big crossover episode because, yes, I want it.
Really quick, let's take a moment and to actually go into the live chat, see what people are saying, because I think I saw it already moved on our page, and I know we're a little delayed, but Good Guy said something along the lines of he thinks that it's going to be Mama Smoke because it's revenge against Lance.
For betraying Damien Dark. Yeah, go back down a little bit. It was right up there. Yep, by Good Guy. I'm just laughing at the person that said pit rage. There's a deodorant for that.
Wow.
Like, bless you.
All right. Well, anyways, since we have Elysia here, let's take advantage of her presence and talk a little bit about the flashback scene. So, we get a little bit of your character. We haven't been introduced. Do we have a name for her yet?
I think that when Wendy actually released that in an interview a few days ago. So it's Tiana.
Okay, Diana.
Yeah.
It's interesting too because I was actually on IMDb and the way you're credited, it's like worker, worker, worker. So I'm wondering, will all that change eventually, or is it going to be like worker until they announce?
I wish I could answer that. I just don't have the inner workings of that mindset, but. That's all I'm at liberty to say. That's all I actually really even know. Like, that's
NDAs.
It. Yeah.
NDAs everywhere.
I know. Sign here.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your experience. So when you guys shoot, I mean, where are you? Are you like way far away from? I know you haven't had a chance to really work with all of the cast.
Yeah.
So are you just out in the middle of nowhere?
I'd like to imagine that we are, but because it's my home, I'm at home. So it's kind of an awesome experience to be able to do that work in my backyard, literally, at some points. Like, you're kind of like, oh, I live like 2 minutes from here.
No way.
I can walk to work.
Yeah. Like, driver, pick me up. No, that doesn't happen because I'm
2 minutes of limo.
Yeah. No, it's really magical, actually, because you get to harness your landscape in a different mindset that you've never been able to really do before because there's a crew. Mm-hmm. And then you're in a different world, right? So we're shooting on location most of the time in Vancouver on some of the most beautiful landscapes I've ever seen thus far in my little amazing life. And then on sound stages. So we have an awesome crew that just develops and makes a lot of the world that you see, which in secret locations, I can't tell you, NDA.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's it, really. Yeah, we're using the landscape of beautiful British Columbia. Hashtag Explore BC. Oh. You got that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
How long does it? Okay. When we see the flashbacks, though, they're such short slivers in a long storyline. But how long do you actually take when you're filming those things?
So we're like a 2-take wonder.
Shut up.
You can only imagine.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry. So talented over there.
No, but like at the end of the day, sometimes it is like a 1-take wonder because of the severe like intensity of what we need to do, which is battle against Mother Nature. So it's like rehearse, set it up, shoot, go. Like, yeah, and we're blessed that we can do that because we have the crew and we have the awesome talent of the cast. To do that kind of work at the level of intensity that we need to do. So it's always, I can't accumulate how many hours because it's always just fun. So it I lose time, but it's good enough.
Do you ever, just really quick, I mean, we'll get back to the show, but I'm just curious because I was talking to another actress that's on a TV show, and she said when she first started getting into television, she'd be in the makeup chair, and some of the star actors would be learning their lines the day of shooting. Do you guys ever do stuff like that?
That's a tough one because, like sometimes that has to happen maybe on the day because there's revisions coming in at you all the time, right? Like I've worked with scripts before where it's like rainbow bright. And you're like sometimes if you're not keeping track of your revisions, you're like, where? Oh, like, what? And like the scriptie's just like, that was not your line. So you've got to be on top of your game. So like I've been in a trailer before where someone's like, we're here getting makeup done, and they're like, hey, here's your line. Like here's your new scene set up. So you have to be on par. You have to know your story. And if you don't know your story, like
you're screwed.
I'm just like this.
Like
it'll just completely run away from you.
I don't know what to say to you. Yeah, like I feel like just keep breathing.
So
I don't know.
I'll say, but with this one now though, like with Stephen Amell, did you guys ever actually get to interact before acting together? It was like, hey, I'm Stephen. Hey, I'm Elysia. Okay, let's go.
No, it was. Like yes, for like a brief moment, it was quite magical. Like I got to set, we were on location, and it's like, here's the director, here's your crew, here's your setup, and then it's like, oh, there's Stephen. And we're like, oh, hey. And it was just, bam, like, hey, what do you need to know? How can I help you? He was so wonderful, so supportive. Like, it was just really nice to have that, that swoop of support from him, from the dude, like, coming up and just being like, yo, like, what do you need? Like, let's do this. So, yeah, it still makes me feel like this sometimes. I'm like, oh, yeah, that happened. You're great.
So, like,
way to go.
Girl to girl, because, we have lots of girl fans, I mean, I know you got him in and everything, but he's handsome. At any point, do you ever, like, when you first meet someone like that, like, he's talented, he's nice, he's handsome, and you're like, hi. Do you ever get butterflies?
Yeah, and you get them for
Dude, it's Stephen Amell. Who doesn't?
To be fair.
Yeah. Can I get honest though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I get them for the weirdest reasons, and it's because I'm like, you're doing it. Like you're killing it. Like I get them for that reason where I'm like, you're owning it. Like way to go, dude. Like I get them for the other reasons.
Right.
So if you'll forgive the term, it's a competence boner.
Yeah.
Nothing to forgive there. It's all true. Who needs a towel? Can I have a towel, please, on set? Yeah, it's true. Like, it's just, I just get turned on by the other things. And, like, those are some of the things where it's, like, great work ethic. You still look good doing it. Like, I admire, like, you have a family. You're building more and more and more of your career. Like, it's just, for me, it's like, yes. Like, super inspirational. Yeah, he's a stud. And he's a super nice human being, so it is cool. But
now he's a stud and a super nice human being who gets to hang out with the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
But I'm also just like, can we get a towel? So it's just, it's cool. Like, girl to girl, he's a very handsome, smart, lovely human being that kills it. So nice. It's also nice to see that, like he's Canadian, props, like way to go. And he just does a good job. Like a great job.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm into it.
I'm jealous.
We're just gonna live vicariously.
I know, right?
Do it. You have my info.
He'll be texting you when you're on set.
Yeah.
Send me a picture when he's not looking.
Like one of these.
Is he shirtless? Go now.
Yeah. Do it now. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It's weird. I'm just, I'm a geek in like a different way where I'm like, that turns me on. Like, you delivered that line really well. You didn't
Competence boner.
Yeah, you didn't drop your line ending. Way to go. So it's really cool. It's just...
And you're going to be his love interest eventually, apparently.
Yeah,
maybe.
We'll see where that goes. Once again, like, it's not even an NDA. I just don't know. We don't know. And every...
But that's how they advertised you. Like,
right?
Like a few months ago, before the show even started, they're
that's
like,
how they advertise.
Yeah. You're like, Oliver's new love interest, but in the past, don't worry, he's not gonna ruin things for Felicity. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I want to see where the writers' room takes everything and where the producers want to take things. Like, it's exciting for me on that level too, because it's like I'm there with you guys. Like. I'm just trying to enlighten what they give me to you.
Right.
So what we're seeing now in the season 4 flashbacks, so we spent 5 years on the island and other places. So now we're in year 4, one more year of being away, and now we're into the 4th year. This stuff we're seeing with you is 5 years ago in the present timeline of the show. I hope you're still alive.
Yeah.
Should I have more wrinkles when they come to the present?
Well, here's what I'm wondering. I don't think the flashbacks on the island are 1-to-1 like the episodes are. Because the episodes kind of air in real time for the most
that's fair
part.
enough.
Yeah.
I seriously doubt that they've set the flashbacks up like that. I think at this point we are maybe 2 years in.
Okay.
Because that gives them a lot of time to stretch things out.
Good point.
And
Yeah,
a lot of what we
catching
see
up.
on the island is, boy, a lot sure happened in 24 hours, and it's been like 6 episodes.
A good point. That's a good point.
But I honestly think that we don't have as much flashback timeline as we have here, and they've just been showing us what's relevant and then stringing it out along episodes.
Sure. Okay. That does make sense.
So I'm going to ask you a question that hopefully won't break your NDA, but, maybe it'll give us some insight.
Bring it.
Have you done any fight training or anything?
Not on set. I just do it on my own time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just something that I
Enjoy doing.
Yeah, my body needs it. Like Lazarus Pit Rage, maybe. Do I have that? I don't
possible.
know. Could it be
Hashtag
because
pit
I'm a
rage.
We have it
Scorpio?
over there.
Yeah. Scorpio sister rage? No. I just need it. It's just something like as my skill set as an actor with what I'm into. Like I love having that at my fingertips and kinesthetically in my body. Yeah.
Nice.
So bring
maybe,
it.
Well,
You
because I
wanna-
was like, like in the flashback this episode, right? Your character, for now we call her Worker. She is lying down, and here comes Hot Ollie, and she's like, and I was like, oh, she's got cat-like reflexes. Is she going to be a fighter? And you can't tell us.
Je ne sais pas. Yeah.
I would love to see you show up in the present.
Yeah.
Just
Thank you.
because.
Even though.
And do what? Like that? Like let's get into your brain, Chris.
stir
Don't
things up.
care. I'd love
I
for
don't
you
know.
to show up and just have it be like working for not Vandal Savage. Wow, Damien Dark. Vandal Savage would be interesting though once we start doing the whole braiding the crossovers by throwing a third show in there.
Right.
Could I show up in the future like they do in Weird Science when that chick pops out of their like computer? Or
Oh yeah. I
They've
used to love that,
introduced time travel into this world, so you could quite possibly show up in any era you could conceive of,
not gonna
and in
lie, though.
any dimension.
Well, we've only ever had one flash forward this season, and that does 6 months later.
Oh, that's when
Yeah.
everyone's sad.
I was howling watching The Flash last night because there's drama on The Flash, and I'm like, no, honey, I watch Arrow. That got resolved. We got a 6 months later
Wait,
spoiler.
Do,
Sorry.
Do we remember who's Oliver's baby mama? Did we ever
She
see
lives
her
in
physically?
Central City. Yes.
Oh, but it's not you then.
No.
Because I was like, maybe that's who this girl is from. I'm not gonna lie.
Because then how would she have made out with like 18-year-old Oliver and then wound
good
up
point.
halfway across the world on
Okay,
the
yeah,
island
kill
and
my
then
theory.
somehow made it back to
Speed Force.
Oh.
Okay, yeah,
whatever.
sure. I'm sorry that evidence killed your theory.
Well, anyways, what I was gonna say though
hate
is when
when
you
that
were
happens.
announced on this show, I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I was like, who is this heifer? Who's she? Is she trying to be a love interest?
That's
I
awesome.
was so mad. I was like, but then when they said it was a flashback, I'm like, okay, it's okay. You can be
Yeah,
on
there
the
was
show
a
now.
lot of interesting like
Feedback?
like, coming. Yeah, like I don't even know what word to use. There was just like a lot of interesting stuff coming up on my social media.
Did you get
She's
hate
gonna
tweets?
break up Elicity.
From,
Get
like,
her.
Elicity, and I was like, hello, Elicity. I love you. Like I was like, I am a fan. Yeah, no, it's true.
Another
It's
one for the
great.
ship. We got a full crew, you guys. We got a full crew. We are sailing this.
So random thought. I love when at one point there was Curtis and he was in the office with Oliver and you know how he did the thing and he's like, who are you? And then right before Oliver walked in though, he was like, what did he say? I'm married, don't stray. I'm married, don't stray.
I'm married.
he's straight.
Oh, I thought he said don't stray.
No,
And
I was like, I'm
oh.
married. He's straight.
Oh, got it. Sorry. I know. Sorry.
I thought he said you were married, stay straight, or like stay straight, or like something like
Something
that.
about being straight, but I was just like, oh.
Stay straight?
Either
Is
way, I
that a
was
term
like,
of
I
endearment?
understand.
Like, hey,
No.
bro, stay straight.
Who knows? I don't know.
No,
This is-
maybe in like the 20s.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be the 20s again in a couple of years, but like
Probably.
the 1920s. Did I just blow your mind?
No.
Maybe.
I think I did.
It was, you know what? It wasn't the initial comment. It was asking me to reflect on whether my mind was blown that caused my mind to, in fact,
I win. I got 2 of them. You're next.
Okay, bring it. Anyways, that's all. I was just gonna say, I like that moment. I like Curtis in general. I like his character a lot. I like that there's somebody else on the show besides Ray that speaks Felicity.
Yes.
Yeah, and he got to join the team this episode, which is pretty cool too.
So that's something
Base
else.
jumping.
That's something else that I wanted to talk about is how I think the best decision that was made creatively for this show was to go as comic booky as they're going.
Oh, yeah.
The assaults, the raid on Court Industries, where you've got 2 canaries, 2 arrows, Diggle, the future Mr. Terrific, Felicity, everybody doing their business, fighting off Hive soldiers, made me insanely happy. Plus, this episode featured what might be, for my money, the most comic booky line that I've ever heard on this show, which is when Felicity says to Oliver, I believe it's, "You faced down Mirakuru soldiers and the League of Assassins, but you couldn't stand up to my mother."
I love it.
Yeah.
That made me so happy.
Almost like it's written by Gail Simone.
Yes, but that's exactly it. It's like leaning into that tone, I love. And it makes me so, because again, I've said it before on this show, but it's like, oh, we're here now. This is where we are.
Well, once you introduce the Flash, there's no going back.
Yeah.
The no powers rule from season 1 was just like, nah, Merlin's still alive. We introduced Barry Allen. We've got Mirakuru soldiers. We're done.
I actually want to go back to the fact that you're talking about the whole fight with Hive and all that. And 2 things. One, everybody's so worried about Sarah going crazy and killing people, but at the same time, like, aren't you guys killing people? Like, didn't Oliver just shoot somebody with an arrow, first of all? Second of all, I think it's almost beneficial to have a crazy on your team, because when shit gets real tough, the crazy is the one who's going to take care of everybody.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the problem with having a berserker. You rile him up, you let him go, and you get the hell out of the way. And they're usually they usually tank. They usually have larger armor. They usually have larger weapons. You want a very large swing to take care of things. Having a very petite berserker in a very close-knit team, you don't have the correct setup to handle that, and you don't have the correct setup to wrangle that once it starts getting out of control. And this is also a team that has very much walked the moral gray line of, okay, we're not going to kill unnecessarily. We're going to try and disable instead of, murdering people left, right, and center, because that was season 1 Oliver, and I'm season 4 Oliver now, and there's a difference. So when you have someone who is not only killing people and going back on this morality thing that we've talked about, but doing so in such a way that's worryingly out of character for them and is completely out of control, that's not an asset, that's a liability, especially when you're up against Damien Dark.
You know what? One of sorry, this is really random, but
I just keep taking your theories.
I heard what you said, and I'm not going to address it and move on.
I'm sorry.
Is this the Republican debate?
This is about Sarah. Hold please. One of the last night, actually, I don't remember who it was, so I'm so sorry, but somebody was tweeting at me, and they were saying, what's the point of all the masks if every single person on the team is like, Sarah!
Fair point.
Sarah! And I was like,
There is that.
Yeah.
How many Sarahs are there in Star City?
Still, it's just the point. You got Chatty Cathy, and then you got, what's a terrific... Spartan, and then you're going to be like, Sarah. I'm like, what? No.
Honestly, if the security footage is out and, because they were yelling her name when we had one unconscious guard and one almost dead guard, no security footage, no audio, no one else there to witness it, so who cares at that point? Like, I get it, but there were no witnesses.
Yeah, it's the point. It's the point.
It is. It's not a good habit to get into,
no,
for
it's
sure.
Not.
Yeah.
Reasons that she's not on the show anymore.
But
she's going to go be berserk in Legends of Tomorrow, where they're even less equipped to handle it.
But are we, are you guys happy to see Sarah leaving? Like, as far as, because the team has come together without her, and now that she's back, are we just like, it's okay if she leaves. I'm good.
Her role has been filled. We love her, but we did the crazy dramatic arc, and we've had the crazy dramatic consequences, and it would just be retreading ground if we brought her back and then kept her. So the spinoff's a good thing.
Yeah, it's not like she's leaving this world.
Right.
She's just going over here.
Yeah.
And she also mentioned specifically that she might visit their mom in Central City.
Central City! The crossover's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it's not like we're going to miss her for very long. She's still here, just, that way.
And remind me when we hit news and gossip, they have interviews about the crossover and we have details.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I like details.
Me too.
Anyways, okay. Well, I guess then Sarah's out, and we're over that.
Dang it, Tari, stop.
Is he tweeting?
Yeah,
He's
Tari
in the
J.
chat.
Miller is in the live chat.
I used to be a panelist like these guys until I took an arrow to the knee. Oh my god. Yes.
Tari, what are you doing? I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Tari has a migraine. He couldn't join us.
And he probably doesn't have a migraine anymore if he's looking at his computer screen.
We're going to give him one again.
Yeah, we are.
Anyways, all right.
Feel better, bro. We love you.
I wanted Sarah to hold baby Sarah. Oh, that would actually have been a really good moment.
That would have been cute.
wanted
Well, you don't really want the berserker near your tiny child.
That's true. She's the last person I would want near a baby right now.
And it
probably a good
really,
point.
it probably is violence that triggers violence. Like, I can understand that being the situation, and so Sarah wanting to remove herself from it. But you still don't want the berserker near your tiny child.
No.
No.
She just killed a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'd be fine for another 2 weeks. Then she'll go
I
kill
mean,
somebody
she
else.
beat a guy half to death, possibly to death, with her bare hands. You just kind of... Nope.
But actually, bizarrely, that's not a bad point because once you kill somebody, the bloodlust is temporarily abated. So maybe right after she kills someone is the only
safe.
time you'd want her near the baby.
Just wash the blood off first.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. He's looking at us like, so these people are crazy and I no longer feel safe.
It's great.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's talk about Thea. Let's talk about Thea. Okay, so new boy comes in.
He's evil.
You think so?
Oh, he's gotta be. Okay, they're either evil or doomed, and I prefer to look at evil for this one. He's too clean cut and pretty for a city that's going to hell like this.
Thoughts?
He's evil.
Thoughts? What are your thoughts?
I can't say. I know. He's nice. I met him in the parking lot. In real life.
Yeah, I figured. He's evil. I met him in the parking lot. Honey.
Oh, boo.
And when I met him, I waved at him through the van.
Oh, you're like, hi.
He waved back.
Oh.
It happened.
Oh. I miss Roy.
Yeah.
Why nobody else
It
does?
would be fun to see him show up in the crossover just because we can.
Doesn't he come episode 7 or something or other?
Does he?
When?
I thought he comes back.
Does he?
15?
Does he?
Does he?
I don't know. I could be making it.
Live chat. Is this
somebody
true?
on Twitter,
I swear he
Google
comes
that,
back.
and if so, please give us links to the interview.
Yeah, the people that are live chatting with us. Somebody internet
doomed.
this.
I adore Callie saying evil is better than doomed. Like, yep. Doomed and in the grave. No, they're not going to kill him.
He might be evil and
Parker?
doomed.
Oh. What is his name in the show? I just want to call him by his name. I don't
That
know.
guy.
Okay, well that guy. That guy who has a crush on Thea.
Campaign manager man.
Alex.
There you go. Thank
That's
you.
the one.
See, that's
Yeah.
why we have you here
Oh,
today.
thank you.
That's the one. Providing
He was
that
on
insight.
point.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know what? Actually, because you mentioned you just got to say hi to him. Who have you been able to actually talk to on cast? Is it pretty much just you and Steven?
Yeah. And let's just, we don't have the opportunity to, I should say, have the opportunity to really meet anybody, except in the trailers.
Oh, okay.
Well, a lot of your stuff, you're separate from almost the entire
Yeah.
main cast, with the exception of Stephen Amell.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm pretty lucky.
Oh. Yeah, I think as a fan.
Oh, that sounded mean, but you know what I mean. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
rest of the
that
cast is great.
you're right. You're lucky because he's there, not because they're not. Right.
Right.
I mean, I've seen the girls in the trailers super briefly. I've seen Emily was by, Willow was by, hi, bye.
Aw.
That's it. We just, yeah.
I think as fans, when you watch a TV show and you think about the cast, of course you fantasize about how great it must be. They probably hang out and they this and that, but I'm sure there's just so much work.
Sometimes.
And the schedule's
Sometimes,
so super quick as
Yeah,
well.
and I feel like the caliber of the show and all these crossovers that are happening, like Flash, Legends, all this stuff is you gotta imagine those actors and their
Working.
schedules,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the crossovers, and then coming back.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. You need to sit down for a minute and just line up 4 calendars, I'm sure. And just, I don't know, different colors.
You know, I will say what I've noticed though with the CW is a lot of times, not in a bad way, but they recycle actors, and that if they really like you, maybe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like once you have a great working relationship, I notice that they stick and they use a lot of the same actor, which I think is fantastic, actually. But, and I don't know if it's a familial thing with that network, but a lot of times I'll see actors that were on one show, if it gets canceled or whatever, they'll still end up on another show on the same network. And I don't know.
You know what? I can't really speak to that in terms of, that side of the world. All I can say is that they're probably damn good actors then. Mm-hmm. And there's something there about them that the network and producers and colleagues and crew talk about and love and want to keep working with. Like, I don't know, man. If you're nice and can still do your job really damn well, like, why not keep doing it?
Right.
With, like,
Well, those shouldn't be mutually exclusive qualities.
I don't know.
They shouldn't be. Unfortunately, they can be.
I'm like, that's what makes my face do this. Like, I don't know. But
some people's children.
But I mean, like, for
Some
you,
people's
for
children.
example, right? Because you have done several different CW shows. Was it a call that they were like, okay, we really love her. Let's have her come in for this spot. She'd be great for it.
I audition my ass off all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm up against people all the time. Like, I don't know what the inner workings of those brains are at all. I just go in there and try and kill it and, like, own the character to what I can do, and then pray to the gods I get a call.
Yep.
Right? And
Yep.
if not, then oh well. It's, you don't ever know. Like, you don't know. And it's just where I am too. Like, a lot of stuff shoots up there.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
we have the luxury of having great location, different production houses there, and most of those networks are up there, so it's what's up there. I don't know. Like, welcome to Vancouver. So yeah.
The new LA, Vancouver.
Kenyatta.
Anyways, all right, guys. Let's get back into the show. I think I've skipped around all over the place. What am I missing? I feel like I've missed something. We've covered Felicity. Oh, you know what though? I really liked the resolution between Felicity and Oliver when they did have their moment. It's been an entire not that this season's been that long, right? But it's been an entire season. In the very first episode, we got to see happy Felicity and Oliver, and then after that, it's just been work. So it was nice, even though that there was conflict. It was nice to see them as a couple, be a couple, and at the very end of the show, I was just like, oh, I want one.
Well, and just seeing them both talk about, neither of us really grew up with a stellar example of a good relationship, and it's amazing we've gotten as far as we have, but let's clear the air, let's make this work, as opposed to, bye.
Yeah.
But also, I'm glad that they didn't really float the possibility strongly that they were going to break up, like I was saying before, because they could have artificially dragged this out a lot longer than they had to.
Oh, aside from that jump scare moment, I think we should clear the air.
Well, no, but I would have been mad. I would have been mad at Felicity if she would have called things off temporarily, even for space, just because for so long, for the last few seasons, we've seen this chemistry between the two of them, and it was put in a way to where it seemed like she was the one that liked him more, even though he liked her too. And to like somebody for so long and to want something for so long and then just to have it for such a short period of time and then you're the one that cuts it off, you're like, really, dude? No. So I would have been mad if she was the one who was like, I need my space. But that's just me personally.
Well, but he'd be willing to give it to her.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
He'd be willing to give it to her.
Yeah, no, well, that's what you do when you love somebody. But again, it was definitely, like I said, a good move of his when he got up and walked away, because I feel like when he did walk away, she was like, oh, like, you really did just leave. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Because you would expect a fight for somebody, and I think that on the receiving end of when you just cut somebody off is a good thing, because then it makes you want to now go there. If that makes sense? Anyways.
We do have a couple people bringing this up in the chat and then also on the hashtag. And from Stephanie Omer on the hashtag, any thoughts on the folding box at the end of the episode?
So,
Mother box, anyone?
Mother box was actually my second thought. My first thought was, is Damien Dark looking for the Kree City from season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I was actually thinking of the Fires of Pompeii episode of Doctor Who.
Dimension hopping and time travel, guys. It's entirely, it's all possible.
Totally.
He's doing all of it.
It's gonna happen.
But since you mentioned Mother Box, that I could possibly see Mother Box.
Explain Mother Box.
Explain Mother Box. What is it's essentially a device that is used to jump between dimensions. It creates portals that shoot you through space and time. And we are just now at a point in this world, in this universe, where I could see such a thing existing.
Well, yeah, I almost called him Rip Torn. Rip Hunter. And
What a show that would be.
Tell me about it. And Vandal Savage. Can you blame me? The villain's name is Vandal Savage.
And Rip Torn as Vandal Savage.
Torn.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Mother boxes are typically they're more technology based than they are magic based, and Damien Dark is clearly a very magic driven guy. His interests don't seem to be. He actually said, just because I understand science doesn't mean I'm not bored by it. So that's not where his interests seem to be. But this could easily be a version of that, or some third or fourth thing.
Or it could just be something that they made up.
Yeah.
They do that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad you brought up magic too, because when Oliver had gotten purposely caught, and the chains came flying off and wrapped around his neck, and Damien did his thing, I was like, oh yeah, I think I forgot that you did magic up until that very moment. It just reminded me again.
How did he get out of that? Like, was a flashbang good enough to... I'm wondering if the way to break spells is to break Dark's concentration.
Interesting.
Because a flashbang will certainly do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But he does now know that Felicity is a part of something, so now she's at risk. And it's interesting because we've had a few Twitter followers that still insist that he has to be Felicity's father. And I'm still going, no, I don't think so. Because I'm pretty sure Wendy Miracle slammed that
Nixed
one down.
that one.
Yeah.
Plus, again, and we talked about this, it's a little too insular.
Yeah.
Especially now that we have Daddy Lance and Mama Smoke. Like, I know everyone in the city knows everyone in the city, but holy cow, we don't need the villain du jour to be Felicity's dad.
No. What do you think that's going to happen, though, when the kids find out that Lance... Because I don't think that Lance is actually going to bring up the name of his children, right? And Felicity's mom probably isn't either. And if they do end up dating, and then it coming full circle and be like, that's my... But you're my... Oh, dang. Like, do you think that's going to be an issue for them?
I think that they'll just kind of laugh about it. Like, of all of the issues you could have in a city that is slowly, and actually rather quickly, being dismantled by a crazy mafia with a dark magician at the head. Yeah, I went there. You saw, you had the mental image. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Your biggest problem is not, my mom is dating your dad. You just kind of sit back and go, okay, that's an extra layer on the onion of weirdness, but we have so much other stuff to worry about. My metaphors have gone insane, guys. It's really late.
It's magical.
We've gotten a lot of those tonight.
The computer approves. Windows likes me.
I don't know. But you know what? I think it's about time that Lance had love. He's been so he was addicted. He was angry. He was sad. He was
His life
everything.
is hard.
Yeah, he needs a little love. Daddy needs a little love.
I'm reminded of the phrase, life sucks and then you die.
Oh, thank you. That just
We have
brought
a
everything
grave.
down.
Yeah.
We have Chekhov's grave.
But that's
I
my
get it.
point.
Okay.
I'm now, because of that scene at the end between Mama Smoke and Daddy Lance, I am now genuinely terrified for both of them.
And speaking of things sitting on a Chekhov's mantelpiece, Alicia Perez on Twitter is saying, Wendy... Wait, no, that's not the Twitter I wanted.
Oh, sorry, Elysia Perez.
No, she said something earlier and I'm getting the wrong one. Do you think Felicity is ever going to find the engagement ring in the apartment?
Oh, yeah.
Chekhov's engagement ring. It's just sitting there.
Oh, okay. You know what? This is not the first person. At Tom Valentine John, which used to be just Tom Valentine, and also at Carrie Bear 09 had told me to tell you, and if I say this wrong, I'm sorry. Buna?
Yeah.
Okay, I said it right.
Buna?
Yeah. Okay, that's all.
That means hey.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
In Romanian.
Yeah. So anyways, that's all. Just have to give you a shout out from our Twitter followers.
Love it.
Yeah. Do you speak Romanian?
I do.
Oh,
It's
give me a little, like,
it's
you know.
slowly crippling away. Bună seara.
Oh, wait, that sounds like Italian.
Yeah, it's a
Bonus
little bit, I know.
it does sound a
Wait.
little like...
It's a Latin-based language.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I know.
Very interesting.
Really quickly, there are a
Yeah.
couple of people in the chat who are pointing out that we brought up mother boxes, and almost invariably in the comics, when you're dealing with mother boxes, you're also dealing with Apocalypse and the New Gods and Darkseid. And while that would be incredible and the greatest thing ever, and maybe if we're in a world where we've got Legends of Tomorrow, we're maybe not so far from seeing that, I have a feeling that if they're going to use Darkseid and the New Gods, they're going to hold those for the movies. I don't think we're going to get Oliver Queen fighting Darkseid anytime soon.
As big as our scope has been on these shows, I feel like that is way too big.
Yeah.
Hey, really quick, just going back to the original question at hand that Alicia Perez had asked about the ring. Someone up there just said that they think that Mama Smoke is going to find it. I'm like, how awesome would that? That would be hilarious. Because, you know, she'd be cleaning like, hi. Felicity walks in. But, yeah, I think it'd be amazing. I think it'd be fantastic if she's the one that finds it. Because I feel like she would first go talk to Oliver and be like, ah. Yeah.
See,
and I think she would help plan the surprise engagement.
That, I would say, is an example of potentially artificially generated drama that at the same time could still be really, really entertaining.
I would love it.
Because he was dumb enough to leave it in plain view on that bowl on the table. Like, really, dude?
Yeah,
really?
Did he forget that it's there?
Maybe. I would.
I think he's just, this is Oliver.
He's got a lot of other things on his mind.
He does. I think he's just kind of saving it for the right moment. And it's kind of a Jack Sparrow thing. If you're looking for the right moment, that was it. The opportune moment. That was it.
Got it. Okay, let's see. Anything else that we should cover that is in our Twitter feed?
There is something in the live chat that happened a little while ago that I just wanted to hit. It was ex-Slytherin Phoenix was the last person I saw bring up. It was actually something from Flash. Where in Flash, and this is set in the same universe, you're dealing with now. We've got time travel. We've got the multi. Which, by the way, hearing Victor Garber describe the multiverse, I could cry. But we've got Earth. We've got Earth 2, and we see certain flashbacks set on Earth 2 with the version of Harrison Wells from that Earth, and you find out through a news broadcast essentially that on Earth 2, Robert Queen is the Green Arrow, and Oliver Queen didn't come back from when the boat sank. And I'm wondering if that's a nod to Flashpoint, where they almost did a spin on Flashpoint on Flash at the end of season 1, where Barry he runs so fast because he wants to go back in time and save his mom, and in doing so he destroys the universe.
Tears apart the fabric of reality. It's the Doctor Who concept of a fixed point in time. His mom's death is one of those things where if you undo it,
right? So
everything gone.
Exactly. So. In that the world that he comes back to and finds himself in, which is not the world that he left, Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, became Batman after his son was killed by the mugger in the alley. And I'm wondering if it's a nod to that.
And his mom became the Joker.
The Joker, which what exactly? It's bonkers.
There's beautiful artwork of it. It's so messed up, but it's so good.
Bonkers and awesome. But I'm wondering if that wasn't a nod to that. But I just saw a couple people bring it up in the live chat, so I just wanted to hit that.
I'm really glad that they kind of went the crisis averted route with that, because I don't want to deal with Flashpoint on this kind of show.
No.
And they can't do it if it ties into Arrow. So.
That would be the darkest thing.
It'd be awful.
That would be really sad for everybody. But the book's great.
Put it on my list of things to read. Oh my god, I didn't. Well, okay, so guys,
I didn't get to be British yet this episode, guys. I just remembered, and I wanted to just sneak it in really fast.
No, okay, somebody tweeted at me. I'm so sorry, I haven't had a chance to read it, but it was like talking about how you can have a syndrome of wanting to speak in an accent because of some disorder. I'm like, I don't have a disorder, guys. I just like to feel smart.
Do we have anything that we didn't cover? We haven't done the requisite "what's in the box" reference, I think.
Somebody in the live chat did it. Somebody's like, what's in the box?
15 people in the live chat did that.
Yeah. So thanks, guys.
So that's pretty wild.
I don't know. I think we covered most of this episode, or at least the big moments in this episode. If I left something out, Twitter followers / our co-hosts, be sure to tweet us and let us know if we missed anything. But in the meantime, let's just talk to our special guest, shall we?
Sean in the live chat just said, Diggle
is Zoom. And
I'm crying.
Wow.
Because there's no way, but that's my new favorite crack theory.
Yep.
Zoom being the Flash villain this season.
I got it. Okay.
He's really fast and he looks like Satan.
He does. It's terrifying. It's like the Scarecrow mask from The Dark Knight Rises with the eyes and then just the shredded, messed up mouth. It's like,
I don't feel secure when he's on screen.
He's like a Heartless with Speed Force.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Flash is really good, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I don't
Getting my
watch
trauma out. You should. It's good.
Anyway.
All right. So. Going to our guest of honor. So we usually like to take the end of the show to talk a little bit with our guest about just them in general. And there's so many cool fun facts about you as far as like you as an actress in your career, and you teach and all these great things. So tell us a little bit about your background and your history, because I know you originally went to school for psychology and then something happened. Was it psychology?
Yeah, I was in my third year in a TA room surrounded by people that I was like, why am I here? And then I left and changed my degree that day.
Wow.
Like, I walked to the dean's office and was like, I need to switch majors now.
That sounds like a good epiphany.
Yeah, it just happened. Like,
Had you acted before, though?
Oh, yeah, I was concurrently doing studies in theater. Like, I ideally wanted to do a double major in theater and psych, which was, like, a headstrong go for it. So I just made a switch. It was, like, kind of easy. And then that was my focus, graded, and then didn't really get into acting right away. I got scouted working in a medical clinic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like...
That's like the stories that movies are made of.
Hardcore working at a medical clinic. Like, loved medicine, loved the body, loved, like, this machine we're in. And then got hooked up with my first agent. And then my career I've just been blessed and grateful and working hard, like all those things that combine, like, to make a magic cauldron of awesomeness happen with your life. Yeah, and now I'm here.
So wait, then having a background in psychology, is that ever useful as far as dissecting certain characters? Do you ever find yourself using that?
It's pretty great. Like, I still have all my textbooks, and I find myself going to, like, some, you know, characters that I have where I'm like, I need to get into you a little bit deeper. But at the end of the day, you just you got to play off of what's on the page and who you're working with,
Sure.
and the story. So it does help. It helps when you want to take that thing to the next level, for sure. Yeah.
Really quick, Twitter followers, if you guys have any questions, now would be the opportunity that you could take to shoot us some questions. We can also go ahead and ask our guests as well.
Yeah, Twitter or in the live chat.
Do you have any other projects that you're working on that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I actually just am in post-production for a short film that I was co-producing with my co-producer, Stephen Amell. He was directing it and wrote it. It's called Forward, FWD. It's going to be hopefully ready for us to showcase to the world in 2016.
Nice.
And then I have another short film that I produced and was starring in as well called The Wall. And it's another short. It's like a suspense thriller. And that's going to be up at Whistler Film Festival.
Cool.
It did a premiere down in Atlanta horror festival in October. So we're kind of wanting to, like, circuit that around, meet some people, keep doing fun projects.
Cool.
So yeah, that's kind of all that I can really do with my time, like, besides, you know, trying to have a life and, like, making other cool little movies.
Audition.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah.
Describe your audition for us as far as this particular character you're auditioning for, because I know that I read something like you put coconut oil in your hair or something crazy.
Yeah, I rolled out of bed and I just, kind of another, like, epiphany moment. I just rolled out of bed. I'd been working on the sides and just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna, like, dumb everything down that I've done before with my aesthetic. Like, I've always gone in, you know, honoring the role and honoring the character, and this time I just decided to really honor this role. And what I was given for the script was she was a prisoner and had been attacked and, you know, dealt with in poor manners. So I was like, all right, let's just kind of maybe brush out my hair and grease it up a little bit because I don't sweat while I'm sleeping. So
You live in a cave now.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, makeup artists and trailers, you've taught me well. Yeah. You know, coconut oil, and that was it. Like, I just rolled up with no
Looking
makeup.
crazy.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know, how you would perhaps in a prison, and like MC Hammer pants that had, like, mothball holes in them.
Awesome.
And, like, this awesome shirt my boyfriend had in his closet that looked a little bit dirty and, like, a...
Really?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I have the outfit. Like, I kept it. It's, like, in my house. But, yeah.
You kept your boyfriend's shirt.
And the MC Hammer pants.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was just like, this needs to be kept. Yeah, and then I just went in there and played in the room and took some redirects and walked out, and...
They called you. You had one audition?
Yeah, it was just a tape. Like,
okay.
There was nobody else in the room. It was just the casting director, and that was it.
Nice.
So, yeah, and then I got a call a few days later and was driving and was like, okay, thank you. Okay. And then, like, my agent was still on the phone with me, and I'm like, I need to pull over, right? And she's like, yeah, you should pull over right now. Like, I was on Bluetooth. I wasn't, like, talking on my phone. Yeah, and then it hit me. Like, after I pulled over, I'm like, okay, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But you still never know. Like you never know what's coming at you until it's still coming. You know, like you're like, oh, okay, great, I'm working. Okay, I'm working again. Oh, okay, great. Right. Yeah. Yeah, so that was it.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Questions, comments, concerns? Do you have questions for us? Interview us.
I'm just astounded by the intimate knowledge you all have.
You guys are nerds.
Yep, accurate.
It's brilliant. Like I'm just been sitting here in awe. Actually, like I don't think I've ever been so still and focused for this long. Because I'm like, my God, I feel like I'm in a lecture hall again, but I'm not.
They just
doodling.
keep talking.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like, you guys are in for a treat. You guys are great. I'm just like,
Thank you.
That's all them. I talk about romantic stuff.
No, but I'm like mother box, like time travel. Like I know my mom is watching this right now. She's probably like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I have to read some comic books.
Like, it's not you guys are nerd, it's you're a nerd.
Oh, just put it all on Lex.
Wow, I mean, you're not wrong, but wow.
Whoa, what was that? All right, well, nerds.
Nah, I'm with you. I'm the one wearing the Mr. Universe shirt in here.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Clearly, you guys love what you do, so kudos to you.
Good.
Yeah.
We would not be here after midnight if we did not love
It's
what we did.
late, guys.
Passionate.
Well, since it is late, yes, we'll have the accent. But anyways, can we get some news and gossip, please?
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
Boom. All right. So I just pull up. You guys know me. I pull up random pictures, and I'm like, what is this?
That's amazing.
I saw this online, and I was like, no, it's Frozen, but it's Laurel. This is fantastic. Let it go.
I would love a version of Frozen in which one of them has Lazarus Pit Rage.
Dude, no, they should just do a Frozen and give her a canary mask. That's what needs to happen. Artists, make it happen, just like you said. Make it happen.
That was actual Frozen. That's on.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I know,
she
I know
does.
She does.
A little bit.
She does.
With icy powers, right? Or is that the other one?
No,
I've seen Frozen one time.
Anna's
This is
the vanilla
fun,
normal.
you guys. Okay, so anyways, this is just fun artwork that somebody sent me, but I don't know who the artist is, to be honest with you. I just thought it was
that's
really cool,
cool.
and I love featuring work that fans do, so pretty awesome. Okay, let's move on to our next picture. So if you're listening to the podcast, I'm so sorry. I just like to have pictures for all our YouTube watchers.
This looks a little bit like the drawing we just saw.
It's just Diggle holding some random woman, but I was like, look at those guns.
No, I think that's Sarah.
Oh.
Yeah, she takes care of us on set.
Oh, okay. Thank
She's
you.
wonderful.
Not Sarah Lance.
Sarah's very lucky in that very particular moment.
She's marvelous.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
There you are.
I was like, okay.
What Audio Technica? I see you have them on.
Yeah. And I just thought this picture was really hilarious.
Who's that?
Isn't that Marc Guggenheim?
I think it is.
Yeah. Anyways, so he's photobombing. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Do I have any more pictures? Oh, look, it's you!
Oh, me dead?
Is that a picture?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a picture or if it's a video, to be honest with you.
It's me.
It's just a picture.
Oh, it's a picture.
Yeah.
That's you on Supernatural.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Oh,
I'm a huge
yeah.
Supernatural fan, so I was like,
Victoria
I know who you are.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm gonna stop geeking out now.
I love it.
All right, next photo. Do I have any more
That was
photos?
it?
Oh, do I have any video? I mean, something? I didn't see an audio file.
Before we swing out,
Well,
before
I was
we leave,
giving everybody...
What?
crossover.
Yeah.
Crossover info. There was an interview about the upcoming crossover episode. Evidently, they are having a big to-do and a screening next weekend, I believe. And there is a contest page on the CW's website where if you are in the United States, you can enter to win, and it's a trip to LA, and it's VIP tickets to the screening, and yada, yada, yada. Good luck.
I want to win a trip to LA.
Me too. Good Lord. Put me up in a hotel for a couple days. It'll be great. I'll get someone else to feed the cat.
Bring it. Just bring it.
I am not putting my cat in a hotel. I can't even get her in the carrier. And they also talked about how the crossover this year, like last year, if you didn't watch one or the other shows, you'd be fine. This year, they're treating it like a straight up 2-hour event, movie length. And most of the Arrow portion of it will take place in Central City.
Yes.
And most of the Flash portion of it will be in Star City.
Interesting.
So they are really flip-flopping things. And at this point, they are very much saying, hey, fans,
You have to watch both.
need to watch both shows.
That's just not fair.
We're at the point where it's
so
like,
much.
congratulations, you need to be into everything.
That was just my question. Do you guys love that or
I
not?
love. It's the MCU, but on TV.
I'm okay with that. I am, but that's also because I've been in it to win it from the beginning on all of these. So I can imagine if you watch The Flash and then you started off with season 1 of Arrow and you're like, this is really super grimdark and I don't want to do this anymore. Then you'd be a little ticked that you have to swing into it now, or at least have to watch an episode of a show you don't watch. But, deal with it.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Most shows don't do this. Most shows are not able to do this. The closest we've gotten since ever is Bones and Sleepy Hollow, and I have no idea how that crossover went or if it was even any good. Yeah, that's a thing that occurred.
That did. Yeah.
It did.
I immediately, I would think to go as a point of comparison, Buffy and Angel.
Well, yeah, but one's, one is a spinoff of the other, and that's same idea. But yeah, so
but even,
at this point in
those two
time,
shows,
if you guys don't watch Flash, you're going to need to watch both parts of the crossover, and it is right before Thanksgiving, so goodness knows when our after show will be for this.
Wait, hold on though. Are they airing back to back as in the same night back to back?
No.
No, it'd be Tuesday,
regular
Wednesday.
time slots.
Okay, got
and
it.
they released,
So it's like getting a cliffhanger right in the middle.
They released a photo that is, I would assume, most of the lineup of heroes that we're going to see in this crossover. And in this one frame together, you've got Green Arrow, you've got Speedy, you've got the Flash, you've got Canaries, you've got Hawkman and Hawkgirl, and you've got Magneto Diggle. And reading interviews about this crossover, about the number of superheroes that you're going to see on television sharing a frame together, we're talking, I believe the number that was floated in an interview I read was at least 9 at a time. I read an article, I'm a nerd, about just breaking down some of these photos on a wonderful movie site called Birth Movies Death, and I forget, unfortunately, who wrote the article, but they pointed out there was only one precedent for this in live action entertainment, and it's Avengers Age of Ultron from this year, and that was in a massive billion-dollar grossing movie, and now we're doing it on television, and it is a wonderful time to be alive.
Yes.
And he just orgasmed.
That's the commitment that I was talking about.
And I'm also going to try and get into the event in LA. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Attempts are being made.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I got into last year's.
It's not
We'll
impossible.
try it again.
Manifest it.
Yeah.
I am going to do my best. Attempts will be made.
All right, guys.
So that's what I have for news and gossip.
Sounds good. Let's get into some predictions. It's that time of the evening. Let's see what you guys think is going to happen.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Isn't the light show great?
I'm just like, yes.
The light show is amazing. So much fun.
Okay, predictions. I don't know if anybody wants to go first. Any particular? No? Okay, it's probably going to be me. That's awesome. All right. I don't know, to be honest with you.
We did have the preview for the next episode, and surprise, surprise, those of you who, some of y'all called it.
Yeah.
Evidently, Andy is A, still alive, and B, in Hive.
And
They did straight up say under Dark's control, but I don't know if that's actually the case or if that's an immediate assumption. Like, he must be controlled. He might have done an alliance swap, dude.
Well, no. I actually did read an interview, and they haven't said it in the show yet, but Damien Dark supposedly can actually put something in somebody's... He said put it in their water, but he's just referring to there is something that he can do to people to have them under his control.
Magical roofies. Oh my God.
So, I mean, it's possible that that's what happened. But one of the Twitter followers actually had said in episode 1, when Diggle was caught or something by one of the Hive members, and the Hive member had every opportunity in the world to kill Diggle, he looked at him for a moment and then got up and ran. And so the prediction is quite possibly that was his brother at that moment. Which is a good prediction.
Not sure how I feel about this twist.
I don't know.
Can we let dead people stay dead?
That's true. How many... Tommy Merlin hasn't come back yet.
He will.
It's only a matter of time,
It's only
really.
Yeah.
I figure at this point, if Malcolm himself hasn't brought Tommy back, then... And Tommy would be the least equipped to handle the pit. Let's be real.
That's fair. But he's our one guy that we can count on to stay dead. So good old Tommy.
It's a dubious honor.
Yeah, okay, so outside of your own character, do you have any predictions of things that could potentially develop with other characters? Or maybe you'd like to see happen?
I don't. It's
hard with the NDA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually excited to see what's going to happen with with Miss Smoke and Lance. Like,
Yeah,
I really...
me too, me
like,
too.
she's sassy.
Oh, she's cute.
Like, I just want to see what's going to happen there. It's not so much a prediction, but just, like, bring it on.
I would say
Like,
I love, you know, and
I
they're very consistent with her character as far as her being who she is, and even I don't know, it's just interesting. It'll be interesting to dive into the psychology of who she is because of the fact that we heard about, you know, obviously Felicity's dad was a deadbeat, and she'd said, you know, I'd given everything to him, you know, my this, my that, my 20s. So she'd also said she'd never experienced the love like Felicity and Oliver. So to me, that leaves room for thinking she's a woman who quite possibly could have some sort of emotional issue. It could be an insecurity because, yes, she's great. She looks great. She has a great body, but she definitely dresses like a teenager, right? And I'm like, so what's the mindset behind this woman? Because she's obviously a very bright woman, but she presents herself to be very like, you know?
Yeah, like, I'm interested
Like
to
what?
see, like,
Some
what she's
people
going
are
to do.
just like that.
I love that her flip-flops were
Yes,
wedges and they're like
yes.
2 inches tall. I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Brought
to
me
go to
back.
bed.
Yeah.
Anyways, that wasn't even a prediction at all. That was just, I'd love to learn the psychology
Yeah.
of who she is, her backstory a little bit more.
And she's wonderful on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's
She
absolutely
does a
wonderful.
great job.
Yeah. Anyways. All right, cool. Well, I think that wraps it. Do you have any predictions for us?
I hit most of the things that are coming that I'm
Okay, thanks.
really
So
excited
anyway,
about. We always do that. Wow. That never stops being hurtful. Not even once. Not even once. Frankly, I'm looking forward to seeing more of you and seeing you
you.
do
Yes.
more things, interact more, and live in the cave, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah,
In
thank
a
you,
box
me
of
too.
scraps.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you
franchise.
so much for joining us with our special guest. I'm Alikona Bradford. You can find me at Boys and Beauty 01. Please find me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Boys and Beauty with Alikona, and then follow this guy right over here.
Follow me. I'm all over the internety webby stuff at the Lex Michael. I'm also on the Fargo Season 2 panel, the Ash vs. Evil Dead panel, and Historic Hollywood on the Popcorn Talk Network.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. Feel free to add me. I kind of live here. I am on everything. We just did our last Steven Universe after show for a while today. Z Nation, Blind Spot. So many shows, you guys. So many shows.
Hey, and I'm Elysia Rotaru. You can find me at Elysia Rotaru, and those are all my handles on social media.
And you can watch her on Arrow.
Yeah! All right, guys. Again, thank you so much. We had such a great time for those of you who tweeted in the live chat, and we will see all of you next week. Mwah. Goodbye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.